Okay, welcome to our Friday segment. I laid out some hammers. Last week, you remember Austin was doing his knife, his forge work, and there was a conversation about hammers, and he said he had a few. And then that got me thinking, well, what kind of hammers do I have? So I'm going to go over this real quick, just so people are aware. This might seem remedial, but I guess the cavemen, this was their first hammer. This is just your rock. They used those. That's the oldest tool known to man. Obviously, there's a sledgehammer, hammer big spikes, beat on whatever you want. Then there's smaller. Each one of these has a little bit different shape to them. These are just like called hand mallets or whatever. This is like a little 4 pound, 3 pound. And those are pretty universal. Then you get into these ball peens, and they're usually by ounces, different size, different handles. Some of these I've had for a number of years. The ball peen, this is the peening end, the ball end, and this is what, and you're not supposed to hit them together. But this is if you're working a piece of metal. I should have brought an example, like brass or aluminum. You could do some tapping like that. And actually, I'm kind of hoping Austin might show us some of that with his knife work, how he uses the hammer. Otherwise, you'd use them on a chisel. This is just a 3/4 inch chisel. If you wanted to shear off something, this would be the proper hammer to do that. They recommend wearing safety glasses because eventually you'll get a spot that starts to fold over, and then that potentially could chip off and come into your eye. That's why the safety glasses are recommended. I got a center punch, so just your standard center punch. It's got a little tip on the end. And so if you wanted to drill a hole or something, you would take a piece of metal. You could set it up, take your hammer, and that would leave just a little center punch. Then you could drill into it, so your drill isn't wandering all over. These are what's referred to as dead blow. I don't know if you can hear that one. This one has some kind of shot in it. It's not a maraca. Anyways, that one's pretty old. That's good if you don't want to mar something you're hitting. This is a different one. That's got stuff in it too. This was a hammer that was used for horseshoeing, I believe. It has a special end on it, and it's kind of light. It's tink, tink. These three are like carpenter's hammers. This one is a piece of junk that you would get at a Dollar Tree or something. The head's wobbly on it, but it has a good roll spot for pulling a nail, and it has a smooth face. That's for like a finish hammer, like if you don't want to mar this. If you look at these two, they call that a waffle. It's supposed to look like a waffle, I guess. Anyways, these are usually sharp when they're new, and that is so that it doesn't deflect from the nail or whatever. This one's pretty smoothed out. This one I've had for a number of years. This one, I don't know where it came from, but it would be good for just your standard nails, right? These little galvanized nails. Now, some of these, I'm going to show real quick, have a different arch. These are about the same, but you can pull, and at some point, you'll only get so far, and then sometimes you'll see people put a block of wood. Other times you can work them to the side. These are what you call a claw hammer. I see a lot of people on the internet using hammers. I know I'm not obsessed with hammers, but try to get the right hammer for the right job. You'll make your life a lot easier. This is, for welding purposes, get the slag off. That in there, you can pop, pop, pop. I don't think we've done any really stick welding or anything. We could show you some of that.
No, but you used it last week.
Okay.
Attempted to. Yeah.
So the point of the hammers are, if you're starting out in mechanicking, unfortunately, a lot of people go to the hammer right away as the number one tool. And they get frustrated and they start hitting things, and it'll cause more damage. And it's an easy thing to do. But the moral of the story is, if you don't find a hammer that's going to work for you in your selection. I put the vice grips out. Sometimes instead of smashing yourself, you might want to grip onto it so that your hand is free. But the reason that I was showing these hammers is that doesn't work and you don't find the hammer you need and you get frustrated. Just remember, anything's a hammer, everything's a hammer. And just remember, all these non-tools hammer tools can be used as hammers.